Ever wonder what really goes into making that perfectly plump, juicy hot dog? Well, get ready to find out, because we're taking you behind the scenes of the hot dog factory, where all the meaty magic happens. Spoiler, it's not as easy as tossing a hot dog in a bun and calling it a day. From mystery meat, don't worry, it's all good, to that iconic snap when you bite in, we're about to uncover the secrets of how hot dogs are made, and maybe even answer the age-old question, what's in that stuff? So grab your buns, because this tour is about to get spicy. Ever wondered where the meat in your hot dog comes from? Let's follow the trail and uncover the meaty beginning of these beloved snacks. Picture this. Giant trucks pulling up to the factory, loaded with what looks like leftover bits from other meat processing operations. These trimmings might not win any beauty contests, but they're actually high-quality cuts perfect for hot dogs. As the trucks unload, you'll see workers sorting the meat into different piles. Beef here, pork there, and even some chicken joining the party. Now, you might be thinking, hold up, leftover meat? Is that safe? Don't sweat it. These trimmings go through some seriously strict quality checks. The factory inspectors are like meat detectives, making sure only the best bits make the cut. No funny business here. Let's zoom in on those quality checks. The inspectors are eyeballing every piece of meat, sniffing out any trouble. They're checking color, smell, and texture to make sure everything's top-notch. It's like a meat beauty pageant, but with way higher stakes. Okay, now for the cool part. See those massive machines over there? Those are the grinders, and they're about to work some magic. Watch as they take solid chunks of meat and turn them into a fine paste. It's like watching a butcher's blender on steroids. These grinders are no joke. They can process thousands of pounds of meat in just 1 hour. That's faster than you can say, pass the mustard 100 times. The grinding process is actually pretty fascinating. First, they do a coarse grind to break down the meat into smaller pieces. But that's just the opening act. The real show starts with the second grind, which is much finer. This is where the meat turns into that paste-like consistency that gives hot dogs their signature texture. You know how hot dogs have that soft, almost velvety feel when you bite into them? Well, now you're seeing where that comes from. The grinding process is breaking down all those tough muscle fibers and mixing everything together with the fat. It's nature's own meat smoothie maker. As you watch the meat paste ooze out of the grinder, you might be wondering, okay, but how does this turn into that perfectly shaped hot dog? Well, my friend, that's a story for another section. But I can tell you this, the journey from meat paste to hot dog is just as fascinating as what we've seen so far. You thought we were done after grinding the meat? Think again. It's time to spice things up and turn that bland meat paste into the mouth-watering hot dogs we all know and love. Let's take a peek into the spice room and uncover the secret behind that signature hot dog flavor. As we step into the spice room, the air is filled with tantalizing aromas. Look at those massive spice containers lining the walls. Each one holds a special ingredient that contributes to the hot dog's unique taste. Watch as workers carefully measure out precise amounts of each spice. It's a delicate balance. Too much of one spice could throw off the entire flavor profile. You might spot common spices like garlic, paprika, mustard, and coriander. Some fancy hot dog brands even use exotic spices like nutmeg, mace, and white pepper to give their dogs an extra kick. Now check this out. The ground meat we prepared earlier is about to meet its flavorful match. The carefully measured spices are poured into a huge mixing tank with the meat. It's like making a giant savory smoothie. Here's a cool trick. Workers add ice to the mixture to keep it nice and cold during blending. This helps maintain the meat's quality and ensures all those delicious flavors mix together perfectly. Now, let's talk about the secret ingredient that gives hot dogs their unmistakable taste: celery juice. It's like a secret handshake between ingredients. Not only does it add flavor, but it also acts as a natural preservative. The juice helps keep the hot dog looking good and gives it that distinctive taste that makes your taste buds dance. As we watch the giant mixer do its thing, you might wonder how they make sure every hot dog tastes the same. Well, that's where the science comes in. The whole spice mixing process is super precise. They measure everything down to the last gram to keep that signature flavor consistent. Let's appreciate the complexity here. What started as leftover meat trimmings is now transforming into a carefully crafted flavor bomb. It's like watching a magician at work, except instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, they're creating America's favorite ballpark snack. As the mixing continues, the once bland meat paste takes on a whole new character. The spices and celery juice work their magic, turning the mixture into something that'll make your mouth water just thinking about it. But we're not done yet. The flavored meat mixture still needs to take on that classic hot dog shape we all know and love. As the giant mixing tank finishes its job, you can almost taste the anticipation in the air. Get ready for the next exciting step in our hot dog journey. Remember that mushy meat mixture we just seasoned to perfection? It's about to become the perfect cylinder you see in your bun. Let's check out this cool machine that makes it happen. It's like a giant Play-Doh extruder, but for meat. This high-precision stuffing machine pumps the meat into long rolls of casing under high pressure. It's kind of like filling a water balloon with meat, but way cooler and a lot less messy. Watch closely because this part happens fast. In just 35 seconds, this machine can create a chain of hot dogs long enough to stretch across a soccer field twice. That's some lightning-fast production. Now, let's take a closer look at those casings. They're crucial for shaping our hot dogs. Some factories use natural casings made from animal intestines, giving the hot dogs a firmer snap. Others use synthetic cellulose casings, which are removed after cooking. Here's a fun fact. If you don't see a black stripe on the casing, it means the hot dog is cooked and ready for packaging. Time for another machine to work its magic. Say hello to the high-speed linking machine. This clever device twists the filled casings at regular intervals, forming individual hot dog links. It's like watching a pro balloon artist at work, but instead of balloon animals, we're getting perfectly shaped hot dogs. This machine is incredibly precise, producing up to 30,000 hot dogs per hour, each the same size and weight. The twisting process needs to be just right. If it's too loose, our hot dog might burst during cooking. Nobody wants an exploding hot dog, right? If it's too tight, we'd end up with tough sausages that are no fun to eat. It's all about finding that perfect balance. Now that our hot dogs are shaped and linked, they're ready for the next exciting step. It's cooking time. The linked hot dogs head to special smokehouses, where they're cooked using hot air and steam. This method keeps the hot dogs nice and moist, while making sure they reach a safe internal temperature of around 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Some factories use real hardwood chips for smoking, giving the hot dogs that classic smoky flavor we all love. Others prefer liquid smoke for easier control and consistent flavor. As the hot dogs cook, imagine the mouth-watering aroma filling the air. The combination of spices, meat, and smoke creates that unmistakable hot dog smell we all know and love. It's enough to make your stomach growl. This cooking process not only ensures food safety, but also develops the flavors and textures that make hot dogs so irresistible. Get ready to see these perfectly shaped cylinders transform into the delicious treats that'll soon be nestled in your bun. Just waiting for your favorite toppings. Now that we've seen how our hot dogs are shaped and seasoned, it's time for the real magic to happen. Let's peek inside the massive smokehouse where the transformation takes place. Picture this, rows upon rows of linked hot dogs hanging from racks, ready to roll into what looks like an apartment building for sausages. As the doors close, smoke and steam fill the chamber. If you could smell it, you'd be in hot dog heaven. It's like a spa day for sausages. They go in looking a bit sad and come out looking and tasting fantastic. The smoking process turns our pale raw sausages into golden brown beauties. It's all about infusing them with that irresistible smoky flavor. Some factories use real hardwood chips like hickory or applewood, giving the hot dogs a complex taste, almost like they've been cooked over a campfire. Others prefer liquid smoke, which is sprayed onto the hot dogs for a more consistent flavor. As the hot dogs slowly cook, they're soaking up all that smoky goodness. The heat and smoke work together to firm up the casings, giving the hot dogs that satisfying snap when you bite into them. But there's more to this process than just smoking. Once our hot dogs are cooked to perfection, they're in for a bit of a shock. It's time for a cold shower. Sounds weird, right? But this rapid cooling is actually crucial. As soon as the hot dogs leave the smoky sauna, they're sprayed with cold water or ice. This quick chill stops the cooking process, locks in all those tasty juices, and firms up the hot dogs even more. It's the secret behind that perfect hot dog texture, that ideal balance between juicy and firm. The combination of slow cooking and rapid cooling is like a 1-2 punch of flavor and texture. The smoking infuses the hot dogs with that classic taste we all love, while the cooling locks it all in. It's a delicate balance. Too much heat, and you'll end up with dry, overcooked sausages. Too little, and you're left with an undercooked, unsafe product. But when it's done just right, hot dog perfection. As our hot dogs make their way through this smoky spa treatment, they're changing big time. The proteins in the meat are denaturing, the fats are melting and redistributing, and the casings are tightening up. All of this contributes to that classic hot dog texture and flavor we know and love. It's amazing how a simple sausage can go through such a transformation, isn't it? Fresh out of their smoky sauna, our hot dogs seem perfect. But here's a twist. They're about to face Judgment Day. How do factories make sure only the best dogs make it to your grill? Let's peek behind the curtain of hot dog quality control. First up, we've got some cool tech that scans each hot dog as it zooms by on the conveyor belt. These machines check for size, shape, and any sneaky defects hiding inside. It's like a full-body checkup for our tasty friends. But the high-tech gadgets aren't the only stars here. Watch as trained workers use their expert eyes to spot any imperfections. These folks carefully examine each hot dog for irregular sizes, funky colors, or texture issues. They're the unsung heroes making sure every dog looks as good as it tastes. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some lucky hot dogs get pulled aside for a taste test. These testers aren't just munching away for fun. They're checking important stuff like flavor, texture, and overall quality. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. What about the hot dogs that don't make the cut? Don't worry, they're not wasted. These rejects get a second chance at life. They're recycled into other products. It's like a hot dog makeover, from reject to useful in no time. Now, let's talk numbers. With all these tests, you might think a bunch of hot dogs would fail. But check this out. The rejection rate is super low. Only about 0.1% of hot dogs don't pass the quality control tests. That's less than 1 in 1,000. It shows how these rigorous checks keep us safe without wasting food. But there's more to these tests than looks and taste. The factory folks also check some sciencey stuff. They're testing things like color, texture, fat content, pH levels, temperature, and moisture content. It's like a full science experiment happening right there on the production line. And just when you thought we'd covered it all, there's one more safety net. Those scanning machines we talked about earlier. They're also on the hunt for any sneaky foreign objects that might have snuck into the batch. Plus, there are metal detection systems as an extra safeguard. No unwanted surprises in these hot dogs. All this quality control isn't just for show. It's super important for keeping us safe and happy when we chow down on our favorite ballpark snack. These tests make sure the hot dogs meet all the safety rules and keep us consumers confident in what we're eating. From raw ingredients to your plate, every step is carefully watched to bring you the perfect hot dog. Let's wrap up our hot dog journey. From factory to plate, these tasty treats have quite the adventure. Next time you're at a barbecue or ballpark, take a moment to appreciate all the work behind your hot dog. From precise spice blends to high-tech quality checks, it's pretty impressive stuff. Ever wonder how cooking methods affect flavor? Grilling gives that classic smoky taste, while boiling or smoking brings out different sides of your dog's personality. Understanding this process adds a whole new layer of appreciation to every bite. So, what's your favorite way to enjoy a hot dog? Share your experiences and see how others celebrate this classic treat. One thing's for sure, your next hot dog will be a bite filled with newfound wonder.